Hello everybody, Mike from Southern California again, and you're on the mic. So, on today's episode, I'm going to talk a little bit about, of course, what's been on the last few weeks, is we're right now in the midst of a lull in the defamation case, as, of course, Ty is preparing the motions to strike, which have to be filed by next Friday, August the 30th, and then the following week, of course, the TCPA hearings for for all the defendants. Of course, not much is going on the legal side of it right now. As Ty is doing a lot of the documentation work and preparing those motions to strike. But Kick Vic, they're taking it. They're trying to take advantage of that lull that's going on right now. I'll look at some of the stuff that they've been pulling over the last few weeks to try to recapture the narrative. That's basically what they've been trying to do. They've been trying their best to recapture the narrative. Try to sway people's opinions towards their side. So we go back about a few weeks ago to the article that came out on the Saturday, in which the Dallas Morning News had wrote an article about the case that was shown to be completely biased. Only gave one side of the story, which was, of course, Monica and Jamie's and the defendant's side, with no input or counterpoint from the other side at all. This is, of course, not journalistic integrity, people. This is the bias of the mainstream media, and I did point this out, in my previous video. Mainstream media mercilessly and maliciously marauds Mignogna. So you might want to go check that out. But they came out with a biased article. It was believed that it was possibly Duchette who contacted the reporter to report on this, and they were just twisting the narrative. They were using a bunch, like the ANN article that has since been debunked. Basically, all the allegations have basically been debunked. They've either been outright debunked or have been just the accounts that have been given have been complete misrepresentations. So there was the article, and then of course there's been a lot of back and forth on Twitter. I'm sure a lot of Kick Vickers have tried to stir the pot a little bit, get people on our side. I stand with Vic riled up. See, among the last few weeks here, of course, there was the story about Brett Weaver coming out. Brett Weaver, the ADV is former ADV / Sentai and as well as Funimation voice actor, came out and he had made a statement that that back at TechoCon 2007. Japanese voice actress by the name of Mari Ijima had asked him to act as a buffer between her and Vic. And up until this past week, we had no evidence to confirm or deny that, but some photos came out in which what we saw was totally contradictory to what Brett had said. In the first picture we saw Mari sitting in between Vic and Brett, but the one in the group there who seemed uncomfortable was Brett. His arms folded like this, and the like. He was the one who seemed uncomfortable. And then when you see the next two pictures, You see, Vic had actually moved in the middle between them, and Mari was to the far screen left. It would be to Vic's right and to the right of both the guys. Based on what we saw in those photos, of course, if Mari had an issue with either of them, it would have seemed more like with Brett, because she was initially sitting in between them, but then she moved to the opposite side of Vic, and Vic was the one acting as a buffer, not Brett. So again, kick Vic once again, caught in a lie. Again, caught in a lie. And then in the past few days here, we have also seen another, basically, this is at least the second time I know of that this particular type of situation has happened. The other time was when A&N did this, but where they took a photo and totally tried to make it sound out of context. So what the initial post was, there was a post that happened at about something that happened at AniCon 2008, about 11 years ago, in which there was some kind of there was some kind of charity auction going on. Now the poster said it was for a kiss. That was not true. It was for something else. But I'll get into the true details in a moment. But what the poster said was that the charity was for a kiss. And apparently nobody voted until a guy voted $20. Nobody wanted to claim the kiss, so they forced this young lady up to the stage to accept the kiss. That's what they were trying to sell us. Video evidence, plus the girl herself, have come out and refuted that argument. So, according to the young lady, I won't use her full name. Her name is Elba. As I understand it, she really doesn't want to be dragged into this, and I'll do my part to try to keep her from getting dragged into this. I'm just simply reporting on what happened. But so she was apparently alerted by some friends of hers, some of the same friends who attended the con with her back then, about what was going on. And she had apparently contacted Hirohei and Nick Rekieta to refute what was being said. She was not too appreciative, just as Casey wasn't when A&N did it, of somebody using a picture of her to try to damage Vic. So, this is what really happened. So, the charity auction happened at a cosplay contest. It was basically as part of the prizes, a kiss was part of it, but the actual prize was a signed coat. You basically signed coat of a type of coat that Tamaki wore. That Vic, who voices Tamaki Suo in Ouran High School Host Club, was a signed coat, signed overcoat that he would use. Well, so with a bunch of her friends, Elba had gathered up, about 400, had made a bid of $410. And of course, Vic matched it for a total of $820. Now, what this money was going for was for a fan who was originally scheduled to be there, but unfortunately was not able to go due to a tragic happening in their lives, in which they were killed just days before the con by a drunk driver. So they were trying to raise money for the young, from what I understand, it was a girl who died, who had wanted to come and see Vic. And as such, they got a little auction together to try to raise some money for the girl's funeral. They help with the cost or what have you. So as we saw in the video too, she was very excited. they were claiming that she said she was disgusted and that her body language was showing that she was not comfortable. They were even saying that she was 16 at the time, which is not true. She was 18 at the time. She herself had stated that she was not uncomfortable. She knew what was going on. She was fully aware of what was going on and was approving of it. She, and she, basically she pointed out that and I've said this too before when some kick videos have come out. There's another one I know of, not exactly in the same vein as the AN article or this one, but one that Tara has shared with everybody that I helped debunk as well. I'll talk, and I'll just give a brief message on that. But in this case, she basically said that she was comfortable with it. She knew what was going on. Her reaction was that of fangirling, of excitement. Of fangirling excitement. Not disgust or terror or anything like that. Again, Kick Vic is out trying to recapture the narrative during this lull. Since, Ty is busy getting the motions to strike together, and then they'll sit there and they'll call Nick a liar and a grifter and all that. But all the evidence is basically showing that all the evidence, from everything I've been saying, all the evidence, it supports Vic's account of everything that's happened. Now what happened was what I was referring to earlier was there was another video that was out a few months back in which they were saying that while Vic was apparently singing happy birthday to one of his fans at a convention, that he, I guess, grabbed her butt. Now, I myself looked at that video. That was a video I think that was presented by Therese. But I looked at that video. And I, looked at it a few times. Okay, there's no clear evidence that shows that he touched her butt, okay, or that he intentionally touched her butt. Based on what you could see in the video, you could possibly make the argument that he may have grazed it or inadvertently touched it, but he was not going out of his way. And again, in the same type of video, same thing with what we just saw with Elba. This girl's reaction was not fear or terror. It was more nervousness and excitement. The positive type of nervousness. It was a fangirling reaction. Okay? So, right now, during this lull, we've seen Kick Vic trying to take advantage of the lull by trying to twist the narratives around, trying to regain the narrative. Okay? Today, part of the reason why I'm getting this video out late today, compared to when I usually want to, which is a bit more in the morning, is because I got caught up in a bit of a Twitter spat. Now, granted, I had some other guys on Twitter help me out. Like, it was in a post that was originally started by Words Are Not, Zero Resurrected, and I was pointing out that, and as I've always pointed out, one of the best ways we can help Vic and also thwart Funimation's attempt at a monopoly and really strip away their power is by showing our support and signal boosting some of the lesser known companies. And of course, I've Bang Zoom. Well, Bang Zoom is like number 2 of so we know a lot of people know about Bang Zoom and Viz out here in LA. The 2 studios up in Canada, Ocean and Blue Water. You should signal boost them as much as possible. But I'm talking about like in New York with Media Blasters and NYV Post, and in Houston with Sentai. You know, those two companies in particular. And I've really been trying to signal boost Sentai, and I hope you guys will check out like a lot of their dub work. They have a lot of good voice actors. Now, one of the points I had made. Now, to preface it too, I'm not going to name anybody specific, only because I know a lot of these people have chosen to stay neutral on this, and I'm going to respect that. That's why I'm not going to say anybody's name specifically. But what I will tell you is this. I myself have done some research on who's saying what about the Vic case among the voice actors. Okay, I've looked at, and I have looked at, you know, all the, as I like to call them, the 6 main companies or 6 dub capitals. I've looked, you know, obviously Funimation in Dallas, Bang Zoom in LA, you know, well, Viz has their distributive offices in San Francisco, but they do some of their dubbing in LA at Studiopolis. They also have licensed work up in Canada through like Ocean Studios and Blue Water. It's subsidiary, you know. Also, you know, Sentai in Houston. Now, I know somebody was telling me, well, Sentai is not ADV. Okay, it's not exactly ADV. It's not exactly the same company. But it is essentially the same company because it's basically the same personnel just with a different name. Yeah, they may not have... There are some who are no longer there, like the late Mike Kleinmetz, who passed away during the time ADV, you know, Vic, and they like to say, well, Vic hasn't worked there in a couple years, but I'm gonna get to all that in a moment though. And then of course you have in New York, you have Media Blasters, you have NYAV Post, you have 4K in 4K, which does a lot of, like, they still are doing the Yu-Gi-Oh dubs. Currently they're doing Brains. It's a pretty good one. You guys should check it out. But basically, in order to thwart Funimation's corruption and their attempt at a monopoly, we need to signal boost these other companies. We need to signal boost even the ones in Canada, or, you know, Ocean Studios and Blue Water. We need to help signal boost them. We need to help signal boost Bang Zoom more. We need, we need to signal boost Sentai in Houston and Media Blasters and NYV Post, and, you know, we need to signal boost these companies to show, you know, the companies and the conventions that, yes, we know we can take money away from Funimation. Funimation may right now be the big dog in it all. It may be the most prolific and prominent dubbing company, company in the industry right now. But it doesn't have to stay that way, and it's up to us fans to let them know that, to remind them of that. So what you can do is, one, you can signal boost these companies, and even newer companies like Fantasy Soft Entertainment and Phoenix Animations I've been doing on my videos here. You can like signal boost the companies, one, by like watching more of their stuff on Toonami, you know, supporting them where you can, you know, if you can, like, buy DVDs, or if you can, it is always better if you can to pay to watch the stuff if you can. I'm not gonna put anybody down for you know, for like using online free streaming sites. You know, not everybody can afford shelf loads of anime. You know, and not everything you may want to watch is still in print anyways too. But anyways, that's just another issue for another day. But basically, yeah, signal boost these companies, help to support them where you can. Also, start petitioning the conventions to bring on the voice actors from some of these lesser known companies, as well as those who are not associated with Kick Vic. You know, if you start emailing the conventions telling them, hey, we don't want these Kick Vickers here. We want Vic. And we want Vic. We want voice actors from like Sentai and New York and Canada. We want to see these people. And if enough of us email them, they'll start inviting them. And you know, the less people are asking for Funimation VAs, the more you empower the other companies, the more you empower the fandom. So, one, signal boost the lesser known companies, and two, petition the conventions to have some other, have some of the other favorite voice actors who are not Kick Vic, because there's a lot of good voice actors out there who I'm sure would love for you to be able to share your experiences about their work and share how you like their work. Anyway, so if you check the links below, if you want to contact me directly, my Twitter handle will be down there. I am, of course, signal boosting Fantasy Soft and Phoenix Animation. You guys check them out. I'm also pushing Vic's GoFundMe. As always, guys, don't ever feel pressured to give. If it's on your heart to do so, and you have the ability to do so, please consider donating to the cause. Now, if you can't, Vic, nobody wants you to go bankrupt over it. If you can, it's on your heart to do so, please do so. If you have already donated, please consider donating again. Every penny helps. And if you're not able to give, you're not able to donate, you can still help out by sharing the link and help getting the word out. Like what I'm doing here with my videos, when you see them on the bottom there. And if you like this content, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I always look forward to conversations with you guys, as long as, of course, as they're civil. I'll get back to you pretty quickly. Usually as soon as I see it. Now if you guys are just a reminder too, and I've been doing this the last few days too. Any disrespectful or nasty comments, I will delete right away. So just keep that in mind. We can agree or disagree civilly. We don't have to put each other down. We don't have to like start swearing at each other either over it. But anyways, let's keep the conversation going, guys. And until tomorrow. I'll see you guys tomorrow, because you know something? You're on the mic. Bye.